Welcome back to my channel. Tonight, we are witnessing a reality TV moment so explosive, so utterly devastating, it might just go down as the ultimate checkmate in the history of the SisterWives saga. If you've been watching the latest glimpses of Christine's youngest daughter, truly Grace, it's impossible not to feel a flicker of hope. For the first time, we see her truly breathing, laughing, playing, bonding with her new stepfather, David Woolley, a man who has stepped in not just as a parent figure, but as a shield against the chaos that has long defined her childhood. But while these heartwarming images paint a picture of safety and laughter, a storm is quietly, relentlessly brewing on the outskirts of Flagstaff. And at the eye of that storm stands a man whose ego is about to face its most brutal reckoning, Cody Brown. Insider whispers are swirling, hinting that Truly has not just gained a guardian, but a protector capable of delivering a blow so devastating, so humiliating, that it threatens to shatter everything Cody thought he owned, emotionally, financially, and symbolically. We are talking about the ultimate power move, the ultimate insult. The kind that strikes at the very core of a man who has spent years building an illusion of control. This isn't about Robin's children. This isn't about favoritism or family squabbles. This is about the future heir of Coyote Pass, the land Cody has wielded as both crown and cudgel. And according to our sources, the plot is unfolding faster than anyone anticipated. For decades, Coyote Pass was Cody's golden carrot. It was supposed to be the family legacy, the sacred ground where generations of Browns would gather, grow, and thrive. But what did it become? A barren monument to broken promises. A daily reminder of Cody's failures. A financial black hole bleeding the family dry. With Janelle and Mary long gone, and Christine happily remarried, the estate stands neglected, a decaying symbol of what could have been. Enter David Woolley. A businessman. A strategist. A man who sees value not just in land, but in leverage. The theory gathering steam online suggests that David isn't interested in social media drama or drawn-out courtroom battles. He's coming straight for the jugular, the wallet, the power, the legacy. According to insiders, David has made Cody and Robin an offer that is as shocking as it is generous. A purchase of Coyote Pass, potentially for double, maybe even triple its current market value. And here's where the brilliance or cruelty of the move reveals itself. The money is only half the story. The other half? The terms. The land will not be titled to David. It will not be titled to Christine. It will be held in an irrevocable trust, with the sole beneficiary being Truly Grace Brown. David and Christine would manage it until Truly reaches adulthood, but legally, the kingdom Cody has clung to for decades will belong to the very child he abandoned, the child he failed to protect. Picture the scene. Cody sits across the table. A contract slides in front of him. The numbers are staggering, enough to pay off debts, maintain the McMansion, and preserve his image of affluence. Freedom at last. But there's a catch, a single, non-negotiable condition. He cannot touch the inheritance. The empire he imagined, the legacy he boasted about, the symbol of his control, it will all be handed to the daughter he pushed away. This is more than financial strategy. This is psychological warfare. It attacks Cody on every level. His provider complex, the very core of his identity, is shattered. Accepting the money means admitting defeat, acknowledging that someone else, David Woolley, can secure what he could not. It dismantles his narrative of loyalty. Cody punished Christine and Truly for disloyalty, for stepping outside his control. Now, ironically, the disloyal child inherits the crown, a cosmic irony that is impossible to ignore. And Robin? She is blindsided. Her grand plans to secure a future for Solomon and Ariella are obliterated. Coyote Pass, once her envisioned playground for her biological children, is now legally and emotionally inaccessible. She cannot manipulate this trust, cannot negotiate her way back in, cannot cry her way into influence. The fortress is impenetrable. And David? Is this an act of love or an act of war? Perhaps it is both. There is no denying his affection for Truly, the tangible love that has transformed her world. But at the same time, this is a calculated, strategic strike, a move that guarantees her safety, secures her future, and simultaneously delivers a devastating blow to Cody's fragile ego. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the ultimate checkmate. The final act in a long-running drama of betrayal, abandonment, and power. Cody may have once held the reins, but tonight, the empire he built crumbles, not through force, but through strategy, foresight, and the love of a man who knows how to protect what truly matters. And as truly Grace Brown laughs, plays, and lives without fear for the first time in her life, one thing becomes crystal clear. Legacy is not inherited through fear or control. It is earned through love, vision, and courage. But let's not forget, David Woolley is no fool. He hasn't walked blindly into this. He has watched. He has studied the history, the mistakes, the failures of Cody Brown. He knows about the infamous kidney speech. He knows Cody forgot Truly Sage. He knows how dangerously close Truly came to suffering from kidney failure and almost tragedy born from negligence. Every misstep, every lapse, every cruel oversight is now being weaponized. And David? He is doing it with style, with precision, with cold, calculated brilliance. By buying Coyote Pass in Truly Grace Brown's name, David isn't just purchasing land. He is delivering a surgical strike against Cody's decades-long empire of control. In one elegant transaction, he accomplishes what Cody failed to achieve in 10 years. It is a flex, a power move, a silent, yet devastating act of revenge. No yelling, no drama, just a check, and suddenly, the tides have turned. Now, let's talk about why this land matters so much. To the casual viewer, Coyote Pass might look like nothing more than dirt, prairie dog burrows, and a distant mountain vista. But to Cody Brown, it has always been more than that. It is a horcrux of his ego, the physical embodiment of his control, his power, his delusions of patriarchal dominance. When the family moved from Las Vegas, leaving behind 4 picture-perfect cul-de-sac homes, Cody sold the dream of Coyote Pass as the ultimate family sanctuary. He climbed those hills, gestured grandly to the sweeping views, and promised a future where the Browns would gather, united forever. He drew up plans for a sprawling, ostentatious mansion. He argued endlessly over property lines. He forced his wives through financial purgatory to make it happen. For Cody, ownership of that land equaled control over his family. The title wasn't just a piece of paper, it was a chessboard. He dictated the moves. Janelle couldn't build yet. Mary got the undesirable lot. Christine and Truly were pawns to be managed, manipulated, and contained. But the game has changed. The board has flipped. Janelle walked away. Mary threw the table. Christine is now playing a completely different game with a partner who sees the board clearly, who understands strategy, leverage, and love. Coyote Pass has become a burden, a monument to failure, a haunting reminder of the family he could not hold together. And Cody? He is trapped in the middle of it all. He cannot simply sell the land on the open market without admitting total defeat. Even if he could, the fluctuating Flagstaff market ensures that a desperate sale would yield pennies on the dollar. He needs a lifeline, a cash-heavy escape, and that is exactly what David's alleged proposal provides. But here's the catch. Accept the money, and Cody survives financially, but he dies spiritually. Imagine the conversations at Thanksgiving, the forced smiles during interviews. Yes, I sold my dream to my ex-wife's husband, so he could give it to my daughter. There is no spin doctor, no amount of manipulation, no crocodile tears from Robin that could make that look like a victory. It is total, undeniable, humiliating capitulation. And Truly? Don't overlook her perspective. She is smart, perceptive, articulate, a child who has grown up on camera, absorbing the world with clarity. She has always been the one Cody ignored while focusing his attention and resources on Robin's children. She was pushed aside, made invisible. And now? She could become the legal owner of the very land that tore the family apart, a Shakespearean twist no screenwriter could invent. The property that once symbolized destruction and neglect transforms into a gift, a fortress, a legacy for the child who suffered the most. Even more telling is the silence. Have you noticed it? No Cody social media outbursts, no public appearances, no grandstanding. Cody and Robin are unusually quiet. Normally, when Cody is scheming, plotting, or fighting, the world knows it. But when he is cornered, outmaneuvered, outplayed, he goes silent. This silence speaks volumes. High-stakes negotiations are happening behind closed doors. Snowblowers and minor disputes are gone. This is about legacy. This is about everything Cody thought he controlled. And timing is everything. David and Christine's marriage wasn't just a union. It was a strategic integration. David didn't merely marry Christine. He absorbed the family culture while simultaneously repairing its broken pieces. He stepped into the chaos with clarity, vision, and resolve. And now, with Truly as his proxy, the stage is set for the ultimate play. And here's where David shows up, not with words, not with arguments, but with action. He is present in the most meaningful way possible, by moving for Coyote Pass. In one decisive maneuver, he is closing the final chapter of Cody Brown's story and opening a brand new volume. He is cleaning up decades of mess, neglect, and mismanagement. Think about the message this sends to the other children, Gabriel, Isabel, and the memory of Garrison. They have all witnessed their father prioritize land over their emotional needs. And now, if that land ends up legally belonging to their youngest sister, thanks to her new stepdad, it validates everything they experienced. It proves, in no uncertain terms, that Cody never cared about the family's unity. It was always about Cody. And for Truly, this is monumental. The land that once represented loss and neglect could now serve a purpose. It could fund her college, remain a smart investment, or, in the ultimate twist of poetic justice, become a vacation home where everyone is welcome, except Cody and Robin. The financial angle cannot be overstated. We know Cody and Robin have struggled with emergency loans, tax liens, and the enormous costs of maintaining the Flagstaff lifestyle. The household's financial pool, once fueled by the resources of a polygamous family, is now bone dry. They are running on fumes. David Woolley, on the other hand, is established. Independent. Self-sufficient. He doesn't need TLC checks. He doesn't need drama. He has the capital to solve problems before they spiral. And for Cody, Coyote Pass is the problem of a lifetime. But here's the genius detail in David's alleged plan, the trust. If he bought the land for himself, Cody could spin it. Oh, I sold it to a developer, he could claim. Just a business transaction. But a trust for Truly? That is personal. Intimate. Every time Cody sees that contract, he is forced to acknowledge his failure and David's success. Legally, emotionally, symbolically, it ties his defeat to David's triumph in a way that is impossible to ignore. And Robin? She is neutralized entirely. For years, she whispered in Cody's ear, scheming to hold on to assets to secure her children's future. But this offer forces her into a lose-lose. If she blocks it, and they go under, Cody blames her. If she supports it, she loses the land she dreamed of for her children. She is trapped, outmaneuvered by a calm, strategic force she cannot manipulate. Rumors even suggest Janelle might be silently cheering this on. She loved the land, tried to make it work, fought to build her dream casita. Seeing Cody forced to relinquish control to Truly may be the only outcome that satisfies her sense of justice. Not money, not compensation, but vindication. Emotional restitution. Now, watch Truly and David together. Notice the ease, the quiet bond. Truly is not performing, not tiptoeing around an unpredictable father. She is simply existing secure. And this land purchase would be the physical embodiment of that security. It is David saying, I am here for you. I will protect you. I will make sure you receive what is rightfully yours. This move changes everything. The genre of the show shifts. It is no longer just a reality TV tragedy about a collapsing family. It becomes a calculated revenge thriller. A modern-day Count of Monte Cristo, where the hero returns, Wealthy, strategic, unstoppable, to dismantle the power structures that once oppressed the innocent. Only in this story, the hero is a calm, bearded construction mogul, and the weapon is a real estate trust. And the critics who might say, "Why touch that tainted land? It's cursed, negative energy." They miss the point. Business is business, but symbolism matters. By placing Coyote Pass in a trust for Truly, David and Christine are cleansing the land. They are transforming it from a monument of exclusion, control, and patriarchy into a legacy of hope, stability, and empowerment for the youngest daughter. They are reclaiming what was once a source of pain and turning it into a symbol of justice. Ladies and gentlemen, if this theory proves true, what we are witnessing is nothing short of genius. A masterstroke of strategy, love, and poetic justice. And for Cody Brown, there is no recovery, no spin, no manipulation strong enough to salvage this humiliation. The empire he built on control and ego crumbles, not through scandal, not through confrontation, but through foresight, courage, and a single irrevocable trust. Truly, Grace Brown could inherit not just land, but the ultimate victory. We have to wonder, does Cody even see the irony? He spent years consumed by the fear of poverty, talking about it endlessly, making decisions dictated by that fear. And now, the very thing he dreaded most, the specter of financial collapse, might be the force that compels him to hand over his most prized possession to the one man who has outmaneuvered him at every turn, David Woolley. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Cody's greed, his mismanagement, his obsession with control, they've all conspired to trap him. And David? He's standing there calmly, holding the door open, waiting for Cody to walk through it. We need to peel back the layers because the more we examine this alleged proposal, the more it reveals itself as not just a business deal, but a masterclass in psychological warfare. If the first part of this story shocked you, the second part reveals the intricately woven trap David Woolley has set. According to insiders, this isn't a casual negotiation. There is a strict timeline, a ticking clock. Word is, Cody and Robin have exactly 30 days to accept the offer to buy Coyote Pass at this inflated price. Why the pressure? Because Cody cracks under deadlines. When given time, he spirals, ranting to friends, spinning wild conspiracies, creating chaos in every corner. But when backed into a corner, when the clock ticks louder with every passing day, mistakes are inevitable. Imagine the atmosphere inside the McMansion right now. Each tick of the clock is a reminder. The bailout money is about to vanish. Every morning Cody wakes up to face his dwindling bank account. He is forced to confront the same impossible question. Can I really afford to say no? And then there's Robin. Let's be honest, this proposal annihilates her long game. For 18 seasons, Robin has methodically secured her position, the legal marriage, the largest home, the prime land next door. In her mind, Coyote Pass was the inheritance for Solomon and Ariella, a playground for her children, a fortress for her legacy. But if David Woolley buys it for Truly, Robin's carefully crafted narrative crumbles. She cannot complain without revealing her true intentions. If she protests, the public sees a selfishness that contradicts her long-standing image of concern and fairness. If she stays silent, she loses the land she coveted. She is trapped, silenced, and psychologically outmaneuvered, a situation some fans might say she has earned after years of manipulation. Rumor has it even Janelle may be quietly cheering this on. She loved the land, dreamed of her casita, tried so hard to make it work. She will never reclaim her money fully from Cody, but seeing him forced to relinquish control to Truly, that is poetic justice. Emotional restitution. Satisfaction beyond dollars. Look at Truly and David. Observe the body language. Truly is free.
No posturing.
No fear. No tiptoeing around an unpredictable father. She exists in ease, stability, and love. This land purchase becomes the physical manifestation of that promise. I am here for you. I will protect you. I will make sure what is yours is secured. The genre of the story itself shifts. We are no longer watching a collapsing reality TV family. We are watching a revenge thriller unfold. A modern Count of Monte Cristo. Only the hero isn't a masked nobleman. It's a calm, bearded construction mogul. The weapon? A real estate trust. The payoff? Poetic, legal, and inescapable. Some critics may say, why would David want this land? It's tainted, full of bad energy. But David isn't buying bad vibes. He's buying opportunity. By placing it in a trust for Truly, he cleanses the land, transforms a symbol of exclusion, control, and patriarchal greed into a beacon of hope, stability, and justice. He is taking the land that tore the family apart and turning it into the inheritance for the child who deserves it most. He is reclaiming what was once a tool of oppression and converting it into a fortress of empowerment. And let's not overlook the ultimate trap, the trust itself. Once the land is in an irrevocable trust for Truly, it is untouchable. Cody cannot reclaim it. Robin cannot manipulate it. It is legally and symbolically sealed. This is the final move in a master plan, a financial, emotional, and psychological checkmate. The empire Cody believed he controlled crumbles quietly, efficiently, and irreversibly. Truly Grace Brown, the child once overlooked, emerges as the heir to not just land, but victory. Cody can't just come back later and say, I changed my mind. He can't guilt-trip Truly into relinquishing a single parcel when she turns 18. Once the land is placed in an irrevocable trust, David and Christine hold a fiduciary duty to protect the asset for the rightful beneficiary. If Cody even sets foot on that property to retrieve logs or peel a tree, he is technically trespassing on his own daughter's land. Imagine the headlines: Cody Brown removed from property owned by Truly Brown. The patriarchal king of Coyote Pass becomes an intruder in his own dream. The reversal is staggering. Cody, who once dictated who was welcome, who kicked out his sons, who dictated Mary's rotation, who controlled every move on the property, is now on the outside looking in. David is handing the keys to the gate to Truly. Cody's empire of control is reduced to a memory. Then there's the alpha dynamic. Cody is always obsessed over being the head of the household, the ultimate provider, the man of testosterone and respect. David? He is the complete antithesis. Quiet, calculated, efficient. He doesn't yell for the cameras, he doesn't need spectacle, he just delivers results. By making this move, David asserts dominance in the most primal way possible, resource acquisition. In the natural order, the alpha is the one who provides territory, safety, and security. Cody has lost the land. Cody has lost the family safety. David restores it. This is David looking Cody in the eye and saying, I am the provider now. And the fact that he does it for a stepchild? That twists the knife even deeper. Cody has 18 children and has repeatedly complained about the burden they are. David steps in and embraces Christine's children as his own, treating them with love, foresight, and commitment. Cody demanded loyalty, but gave nothing. David asks for nothing, but gives a legacy. The contrast is blinding. And what about the original 3 children? Gabriel, Garrison's memory, Patton Logan? They watched their father abandon them emotionally while prioritizing Robin's children and obsessing over Coyote Pass. If Truly ends up owning the land, it is a victory for all of them. The land stays out of Robin's hands, it restores part of the Brown family legacy, and it could become a gathering place for the original kids. Picture the 4th of July. David and Christine hosting a barbecue, all the children and grandchildren together, laughter echoing across the property, and Cody and Robin isolated, watching through binoculars. The land meant to divide the family becomes the ultimate unifying force, without Cody. And there's the symbolic power of renaming the property. Coyote Pass is cursed in memory, plagued, miserable, tainted. David could rename it Truly's Crossing, Brown Liberty Park, or simply The Haven. Renaming it is an act of cleansing, erasing Cody's footprint, stripping him of the power he once wielded through branding. But what if Cody refuses? Let's explore the what if. Ego inflated, contract shredded, lawyer screamed at. What happens then? David's plan B is simple. Wait. Foreclosures, mounting tax liens, financial collapse. Cody will eventually lose the property anyway. David could then purchase it at auction, likely for cheaper. The direct offer? A mercy kill. Cash in hand, dignity intact. Refusal?
Destruction garantie.
Either way, the audience wins. This is checkmate. Cody has no path to victory. He is playing emotional checkers, making noise, jumping pieces. David is playing 4D financial chess, silent, strategic, lethal. And let's not forget the tender-aged hypocrisy. Cody used the excuse of Solomon and Ariella to justify neglecting the other children. Truly, the same age as Solomon when the show began, got none of that attention. By securing a land for her, David is highlighting Cody's failures while serving retroactive justice. The universe itself balances the scales. And the public fallout? If this story breaks, if TMZ or the tabloids get the deed transfer, Cody becomes the laughingstock of the nation. Reality star sells dream home to ex-wife's new husband. Headlines write themselves. The patriarch is dethroned. The empire collapses. And truly, she becomes the heir to a legacy Cody never saw coming. Cody cares deeply about his public image. He wants to be seen as a martyr, a man wronged by his wives. This deal makes him look like a charity case. It paints him as a failure who needed a bailout. He will try to spin it, no doubt. He'll go on a podcast and say, "I did it for Truly. I'm a benevolent father."
But the receipts exist.
The footage exists. Cody only acts when forced to. Then there's the legal brilliance of the proposal. Insiders suggest David isn't just buying the surface. He is acquiring the water rights, the cisterns, the infrastructure Cody obsessed over. Remember all those episodes about water? Cody failed to make that land thrive. David becomes the source of life for the property. It's poetic justice. Remember the wedding ring saga? Cody melted Mary's ring to protect his ego.
Destruction.
David buys the land, preserves it, repurposes it for love. Cody subtracts. David adds. That fundamental difference defines them. Rumors suggest the deal includes an NDA, not for Cody, but for Truly. He would be legally silenced from discussing the trust or her financial status. Cody, who loves to control the narrative, would be gagged.
Torture.
The money is there, the silence is enforced, and he has no leverage. Geography matters too. Robin's house overlooks the lots. If Truly owns them, she controls the view. Trees, fences, sculptures. Legally, she can block Robin's sightline. Petty?
Yes.
Delicious? Absolutely. Cody wanted a compound where he'd be the grandpa on the porch. That dream isn't dead. It's being fulfilled, but by David and Truly, while Cody is relegated to the neighbor peeking through the blinds. Financially, Cody and Robin are trapped. Shopping sprees are a facade. Panic is real. Miss the offer and a public auction looms. Strip malls, condos. Loss of legacy. David's offer?
Mercy.
A chance to keep the land in the family and walk away with dignity. Refusal? Total crash landing. And Robin? Silence. Her victim card is declined. The child she once dismissed now legally owns the dream she tried to claim for her own. Robin can do nothing. She is checkmated. Picture the long-term future. Truly as the queen of Coyote Pass. Creative, kind, unique. David and Christine might turn the land into a sanctuary, a community garden, a camping ground, or a protected reserve. Stripped of Brown family baggage, the land becomes hers, pure once again. Cody will watch. He built the stage and got kicked out before the curtain rose. Pride and ego collide with desperation. David's offer? Golden handcuffs. Take the money. Accept the humiliation. Or refuse and lose everything. The choice defines his legacy. The show itself changes. Season 19 or 20 isn't about divorce fallout. It's about reconstruction, justice, and triumph. David becomes the hero, Cody the cautionary tale. The OG kids, the ones Cody ignored, benefit too. The land is now a monument to resilience. The storm over Flagstaff is clearing. The patriarch has fallen. The queens have risen. And the future of Coyote Pass doesn't belong to the man who built a castle. It belongs to the little girl who wanted a dad. Welcome to the era of Truly. Make sure you're subscribed. When the deed officially transfers, we'll go live with every detail. Hit like if you think Truly deserves every acre. Comment below, what should she rename Coyote Pass? Justice Park? Freedom Fields? Let me know. This is the Sister Wives crew signing off. Watch the skies because the view now belongs to Truly.